Hi, I hope everyone's having a great day. So today we're going to be talking about A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer. This is the second novel in the Cursebreakers series, sequel to a Curse So Dark and Lonely. I hope you all saw my video for Curse So Dark and Lonely. I loved that novel. I really did. I really loved it. I'm a huge fan of Beauty and the Beast retelling because I really love Belle. Yes, Disney's Belle. May not look like it, but I kind of love my Disney movies. But I wasn't really feeling with this novel. I listened to it via audiobook, and I don't think that was a mistake. I don't know if I had been physically reading it, if I had really wanted to finish reading it, because it did a couple things that ultimately kind of bored me and kind of pissed me off. If you watched my review of A Curse of Dark and Lonely, you know that I loved Harper. You know, she is a disabled character, she has cerebral palsy, but she doesn't let anyone tell her she can't do anything. She learns to fight, she learns to throw knives, she learns how to sword fight, she learns how to use the bow and arrow. She is a fierce person who always puts Ren in his place. At least, that was their relationship in the previous novel. Now she kind of seems like a very meek princess. She's constantly making excuses for Ren's inexcusable behavior, and that's another thing I didn't like. But we'll get into that in a second. I want to talk about Harper. She's barely in this novel, and I understand that she's not supposed to be the focus of the novel. The novel is supposed to focus on Gray, who is, spoiler alert, the lost heir, and Liamara, the princess of Shilshallow, but not next in line for the throne, despite being the oldest. Her mother pretty much hates her, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that. I had a lot of feelings with this novel. It's the only reason it's going to get the score it gets from me. But, I think Kemmerer, by trying to shift the focus, completely ruined the dynamics of this novel. I mean, Harper's not strong anymore. She lets Ren do very horrible things, and it's not okay. You know, what happened to this fierce person who existed in the first novel? You know, what happened? Oops, sorry, hit the tripod there. What happened to this person who, sorry, I thought there was, I don't know what I thought was there. What happened to this fierce character? You know what I mean? What happened to her? Because I would like to know. I would like to know where the fierce character I know and loved went. Because she no longer is that character. She's someone else completely different. She's, like I said, a meek princess. She doesn't stand up to Ren. She doesn't call him out on his shit anymore. And it's really annoying. And it pisses me off. Because it does such a disservice to her character and how she was established in the previous novel. Completely destroys her. Now, as for Ren, I know it's that classic trope, you know, you want to turn the beast into a beast because you don't understand how could a beauty ever fall in love with a beast, you know? Well, I think it also does a disservice to him. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of sick of that trope. I've seen it a lot. I'm kind of sick of it. It's tiresome. It's tedious. Especially when you remember how much Ren kind of suffered in the previous novel and how much he grew as a person to be better. You know, he grew so much. He fought so hard to be someone better. And Kemmerer just kind of undoes all of that work. She undoes all of it. And she dismantles that brilliant development of his relationship with Harper. Because she was the girl who made herself a princess, a warrior princess. So that she could rally the people and help him rally the people. You know, there's always this classic trope of, oh, the female character who grows based on her relationship with the man. And that didn't happen in the previous novel. In the previous novel, he grew based on his relationship with her, and I liked that flip. I liked how she didn't lose herself, and I liked how he became someone better. So in this novel, it doesn't make sense. You know? You don't see it. It just kind of happens, and it doesn't make sense, you know? It doesn't mesh with how their dynamics were established in the first novel. And that same can be said for Gray. You know, at the end of the previous novel, spoiler alert, Gray kills Lilith. In this novel, he discovers, spoiler alert, that he is the lost heir, right? But, you know, him and Ren, they had such a great friendship. And it was a friendship developed over 300 seasons of reliving the same horror. However, what I don't like is how, instead of being honest with Ren, he just continues to keep the secret. And I think, once again, that doesn't mesh with how their character dynamics were established in the first novel. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It's a plot device. It's clearly a plot device to create tension, except it annoys the crap out of me. It annoyed the crap out of me when I was reading it. I'm just like, oh my god, just freaking tell him. You guys are best friends, you'll figure it out together, just freaking tell him. Instead, he doesn't. And their relationship is completely ruined in this novel. And then Harper's relationship with Ren is ruined, and Ren is just destroyed as character, as is Harper. I mean, it didn't make sense considering how the previous novel established their dynamics. I feel like there needs to be something in the middle there to sort of explain why this sudden change in Ren. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people are kind of throwing him on. His people are turning against him because they don't think he's the true heir because of the Queen of Soul Shallow, because she likes to stir the pot. So I get his frustration. I get why he's angry. It's uneasy to understand that. But I think Gray also didn't help out the situation. And I think Harper just letting Ren kind of just do anything he wants didn't help the situation. And it doesn't fit with, like I said, it doesn't fit with their character dynamics. It doesn't fit with how they were established in the first novel. So that's how I feel about that. And now, once again, you know, the novel, Ren and Harper are pretty much only in the novel for like the first 10 chapters, and then they're sort of mentioned sporadically later in the novel. I will say this, I did like Liamara as a character, but this novel felt very much like a filler at the end of the day. I like how Liamara is her own person. I like how she's very different from Harper. And I love this unity she has with her sister. This idea of right versus wrong. Her idea to look for peace without violence. You know, she's not like her mother, who just will slaughter. I mean, if you read the first novel, you know how her mother is. She will slaughter whoever gets in her way. She doesn't care. But Liamara is very different. She is very different than that, and that's why her mother doesn't like her, because she stands up to her mother, and that's why, you know, her mother chose her younger sister Nola Varen to be the next queen, because Nola Varen is, you know, she's younger, she's more malleable, she's just eager to please her mother. I will say this, the sister dynamic is very strong. You really think it's going to fall into that cliche of sister against sister, but it doesn't. They stay a unified front, and it's really riveting. It's really compelling to see these characters stay unified. And I also liked liked how Liamara developed as a character, and I love that there is no love triangle in this novel. There's a lot of hints of Gray's attraction to Harper, so you think a love triangle is going to develop there, and I think a lot of us in the first novel probably kind of saw that there was a little bit of attraction just because they were able to bond so easily together, but there is no love triangle, and I'm so thankful for that. I hate a predictable cliche love triangle. I don't mind love triangles ultimately. They just have to be done well. You know? You kind of have to understand the characters' relationships with both of these people, and they both have to bring out a good side of, you know, the central focus of this love triangle. I don't like cliche love triangles. And you're probably saying, well, all love triangles are pretty cliche. It's 50-50. But I know a lot of people hate love triangles. So, letting you know now, no love triangle. Seems like there might be in the beginning. But Kemmerer, she squashes that like a bug pretty early on. And I appreciate that. I did appreciate that. Now, overall, God, I have to give this novel 3 stars. And it all comes down to those character dynamics. I mean, this novel, first of all, the pacing it's pretty dull. It's very tedious how, mainly because, you know, Kemmerer is establishing a new character. She is establishing the kingdom of Still Shallow. She's establishing a lot in this novel. She's building up the kingdom of Still Shallow. She's bringing in new elements, new fantastical elements. She's devoting a lot to character development and dynamic changes, some of which you already know I did not like. So the pacing is very slow. The pacing, this novel just feels like filler. And there are, I'm trying to see if the book is over here, but it's not. Let's see. Time of the Twins. I think it's War of the Twins. War of the Twins. It's a Dragonlance novel. That novel felt like filler to me as well. Not a lot happens, but it does offer some interesting character development. I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this. The Two Towers, the book. I love Fellowship. I love Return of the King. The Two Towers seems like a lot of filler. And I think that's just like a common thing with trilogies. The second book, more often than not, just seems like a lot of filler. And that's just what this book felt like. It was a little boring. It was boring, ultimately. I may like some of the characters. I did like Liamara as a character, but Gray pissed me off a lot in the beginning of the novel, and these character dynamics with Harper and Ren and him, I hated that because it just didn't fit with how the previous novel left off. And that's my biggest issue here, and I can't get over it. If you read the first novel and then you read this one, you'll understand how they just don't fit. They don't flow together. It seems like someone else other than Kemmerer wrote this story, because Harper's just not as strong as she was in the first novel. She's very meek. She's very quiet. She's not outspoken. I just couldn't stand her in this novel, and I feel very sad that I wasn't able to connect to her like I did in the first novel. But ultimately, you know, excellent plot twist at the end, though. I will say that. I did not see that coming. I was just like, what in the... So I'm looking forward to the third novel because of that. But again, this novel felt a lot like filler, and I'm really hoping Kemmerer in the third novel will reestablish some of these dynamics and really will bring Harper back to life and showcase how strong she was as a character and why she was so strong as a character, because she lost a lot of that with this novel. And that really upsets me. I'm sure you've already figured that out. Yeah. In any case, this was A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer. I give it 3 stars. If you want to purchase the book because you're like me, and if you own the book, you gotta own them all, I really do suggest purchasing the book off of bookshop.org. I will have a link to purchase the book in the description below. A percentage of all the proceeds from every book purchase on bookshop.org goes to supporting local bookstores, and I think we all should support our local bookstores. Money is too tight, just check the book out from your local library, or if you're unsure if you actually want to own this novel, check it out from your local library. Libraries are a great resource for the community, and they deserve our unending support. And please don't forget to support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.